Well, good afternoon. I'm here with Andy Lewis. Hi,
Oh,
who is in his studio in London.
hmm.
And well, we're going to talk a little bit about my upcoming concert in the Southend Jazz Festival. But before we do that, I'm going to tell you a little bit about Andy. So Andy Lewis is my brand new producer. We
Yeah,
have been working for the last few weeks, and it's been like an incredible experience, right? I think you will agree.
absolutely. It's been brilliant. Yeah,
Absolutely
really good.
brilliant. So, as many of you know, I am recording a brand new album, and I was working with the amazing Mike Thorne in Rimshot Recording Studios. And unfortunately, we lost Mike recently, but to my great surprise and good fortune, I inherited a brand new producer in the process, and Andy and I have been working very, very hard to complete this project. And I must tell you a little bit, bit about Andy before we continue. He is an extraordinary producer with a large variety of experience in different genres. But before he started as a producer, he's lived several lives, as we say. So he was Paul Weller's bass player for nearly a decade, um, and he's toured the world with his band. And also, he's very well known as a DJ. One could say he is the inventor of Britpop, and he toured with Blur in the Park Life tour. He's also played in a lot of you will know this band, Spearmint. And as a producer, well, I'll just drop a couple of names because he's like far too modest to do it himself. So he's worked with people like Judy Dybel, Louis Philippe, and Andre Heller, and just a vast variety of talented individuals. He also had a solo career in Acid Jazz Records, but now he's producing mainly, I understand.
Yeah,
And yes, so
producing, remixing, writing songs, whatever.
all of that. So now that you know a little bit about who is going to be asking the questions, I'm going to pass on the interviewing hat to Andy.
Right. So, where are you playing this
Yes,
this little show? You've got a little show coming up, and
yes,
you're going to take the opportunity to play some of the songs from the new album, aren't you?
yes. I'm very excited about this. It's a small but perfectly formed show that I'm putting together as part of the Southend Jazz Festival on October the 7th in Chalkwell Rooms, which is in Chalkwell Park in Southend-on-Sea, which is where I used to live. So it would be nice for me to go back to my old stomping ground and just enjoy seeing some friendly faces in the audience, and also go back to playing at Annie's Jazz. So Annie's Jazz is a club that's been going for years and years and years, and always bringing the best artists to the area. And it's collaborating with the Southend Jazz Festival on this date. So Annie asked me quite a few months ago if I'd like to sort of preview my album during the jazz festival, and I said, October, of course, by then it will be finished and we'll all be ready. But sometimes life has other ideas, and the album is not quite finished. It's almost finished. But my band, as it is incredibly busy touring and doing a lot of their solo stuff. And I thought, well, why not just get a brand new band together for the occasion, and just doing something new and exciting, and just collaborating with some new people. So
Yeah.
that's what we're doing. And I'm going to be playing some of my old material, which I very rarely perform, some of my old um, compositions. that were never released, which are very sort of, it's hard to describe, but I'd say mainly jazz, but with a touch of Latin and a little bit of flamenco. And then I'm going to do probably 3 songs of the new album for the first time live in front of an audience. So I am very excited. I can't wait to see what it sounds like. So
Mm.
yes, and the band is absolutely fantastic, Andy.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I'm just looking at some of the people you've got here. I mean, looking down the list, you've got Steve Waterman on trumpet.
Yes.
Um,
Yes, Steve
you've got
Waterman
you've got
is,
you've got Johnny G on the bass. You know,
yes.
there's a couple of names there that are fantastic to begin with. You know, who
Yeah.
else have you got in the band?
Right. So Steve Waterman and I go back a long way. We met when I was a drama student in London um, in the late 80s, believe it or not. And I was always a big fan of his playing. And he played with Robin Jones, King Salsa. And I went to college with, I still am very good friends with Mirelle Jones, who is the youngest daughter of Robin's. And so we used to go and see them play all the time. And Steve and I have collaborated on several albums, but we've never actually performed together. The only time was a few months ago at the 606 Club when we did a sort of a memorial concert for Robin Jones, who sadly died a few years ago. But we've been longing to share the stage, and it's finally happening. And I'm so excited that he's coming all the way to Southend to perform with me. He's an exquisite trumpet player. If you haven't heard him, if you just go and watch Steve play, even if you're not coming to see me, it's just worth the price of the ticket just to see Steve. I've also got, yes, the great Jonny G on double bass. We've been in several bands together, and he's just solid as a rock, with an incredible background of sort of jazz and swing and um, classical music. He's a great arranger, and he's just a great person to have in the band. He's just so full of
Yeah.
wonderful energy and incredibly creative.
He studied
Um,
under Pete Moore,
he
and
did.
Pete Moore is one of my favourite orchestrators and band leaders from the British tradition of variety shows and TV themes and stuff like that. So he
He,
he has a very very exquisite pedigree as far as I'm
he,
concerned, and
yeah,
he's a really really good double bass player. Yeah,
yeah, he really is. And yes, I mean, he's just done like baroque, classical, jazz, everything. And he's played with people like Ravi Shankar and,
yeah,
I mean, Antonio Forcione and
yeah,
Jackie Dankworth and the English touring opera and Joanna Eden and just so many people.
yeah.
He's incredibly versatile and just a joy to play with, really. Um, we've also got Bruno D'Ambra, who it's my first time playing with him, and he's worked with Jonny a lot. And Bruno is an incredible Italian um, pianist who has lived in London for years. We discovered a connection. The first time he ever saw a live jazz band was he watched Chet Baker when he was 5 in a festival. His parents took him, and he said he decided there and then that's what he was going to do, play with people like him. So later on, he moved to London. And my father was playing drums with Chet Baker around that time. Not at that concert we discovered, but we started
Mm.
digging. But around that time, so it could have been that my father was playing while a very young um, um, Bruno was in the audience. So the musical world is so small and full of serendipities, and it's just wonderful, isn't it? So yeah, I mean, he's played with a lot of people. Um, Let me see what the list says. Jamal and Tony Kofi, the Pupini sisters. Um, yeah, and all the great horn players, Quentin Collins, Alex Garnett, Brandon Allen, and I know all these people. Yeah, just some really, really good people. And he has recorded at Abbey Road, and
Yeah.
he's played for Barack Obama and Her Majesty the Queen Elizabeth II and all kinds of people. And he's playing with me on the 7th. So I'm very excited about that as well. It's just really cool. How lucky are we? Well, on drums, we have the extraordinary Jimmy Norden, who it turns out we have a lot of friends in common. He's worked a lot with Aaron Ledard, who is on my album, and also with Dom Pipkin and the Icos, and they, they do a lot of touring together. Dom Pipkin is the pianist on my recording. So there's a lot of connections, a lot of like-minded roots music there, lots of blues and jazz and rock and roll. And yes, we've been rehearsing this week and having a grand old time. He is at the moment working with a very exciting band that's getting a lot of airplay called Midnight Life. And it sounds great. Check them out. And I think tonight or tomorrow he's playing with Beverly Knight. So he is a top musician. He's also a teacher. I believe he's the recipient of an Olivier Award. He's incredibly accomplished and very modest as well, very easy to work with. So yeah, we've been rehearsing this week with Jonny G, Jimmy Norden, Bruno D'Ambra. There's actually a surprise because two of them are going to be singing with me. We'll get answers on a postcard. We'll see which two of these three people is going to be singing. But yes, there's some wonderful musicianship going on, and we're also rehearsing with Levent Basharan in a couple of days. So we're preparing a very, very exciting show for all of you. I think it's going to be wonderful. Really, really good. Last but not least, I've got the most incredible guest in the second half, and to accompany playing my own songs. So his name is Levent Basharan. And I went to see a band recently in Southend. And I thought I'd go early because it said that the support act was gypsy jazz duo, Levent and Taylor. And I thought that sounds intriguing. Oh, I'll have a bit of this. And the band I was going to see had nothing to do with this. They were King Salami and the Cumberland Three, which is like a crazy sort of 60s rock and roll band. So to my surprise, these two young musicians, piano and Taylor on piano and Levent on guitar, started playing songs, sort of not just gypsy jazz, but songs like Catalan rumba and quite obscure genres. And I was very impressed with Levent's guitar skills and his feel, and how he really felt this genre without being Spanish, but he really felt it, and he was playing it in such a way that I felt compelled to go up to him and and ask for his phone number. This is something I do. Go to complete strangers and ask for their phone number. But actually, yeah, we've become friends, and it was very interesting because it turned out that he'd heard some of my father's music, and he said to me, "Oh, this is the kind of music I'm into, but you probably won't have heard of it." I said, "Well, just try me." And it's some of my father's compositions, in fact. So again, the world is a very small place when you're listening to good music. So Levent, who's he's got a great band, and an incredible fusion of sort of rock and roll, psychedelia, and incredible rhythm and all kinds of things. But then he also does this beautiful gypsy jazz and sort of flamenco inspired solo guitar playing. And so I'm very lucky to be so well accompanied. So Andy, that is the lineup. I mean, it's pretty incredible, right?
That's a fantastic lineup, and it looks like it's going to do justice to the material that you're bringing.
Yes, I think
Yeah, just
they'll be
just
able to illustrate some of what we've been up to.
yeah. And I
Mm.
think that the lovely thing, I don't know which of the songs you're going to be performing along with the jazz standards and the Cuban rumbas and things,
And
but I would
boleros and
imagine
all
the
kinds.
boleros and things. I would
Yeah.
imagine they're going to integrate beautifully, um,
Yes, it's all a
because
bit of a surprise,
yeah,
and
because
it's going to blend in. Yeah.
anyone who hasn't heard Natalia's album, and nobody's heard any of it yet, but they're in for a big surprise because it's a very multi-genre, multi-faceted, wonderful thing.
Thank you so much, Andy. And
Yeah.
thanks to Andy, we'll be able to hear it because it's always a bit of a mystery if you don't know how an album is created. That um, it takes a vision, I think, to to create a sound. I know that sounds contradictory, but I think we've now got the vision.
Well,
And
I mean,
yeah.
the vision was never in doubt because it's your, but it's the way that you can mold it all together and turn it into something that sounds like something that other people are going to really enjoy. That's always the challenge when you're working with someone who's got a very strong vision. But it's not a challenge that I'm struggling to deal with when it comes to working with you. That's for sure.
Well, that's wonderful. And
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to performing because I've been um, in my favorite place in the world. I've been recording. The recording studio, I think, is one of my favorite places to live in. But it it depends because being on stage is also one of my favorite places. So I haven't actually done a concert for a long time, a whole concert. I've done a lot of collaborations and I've been people's guests, but this is going to be very special and very different. And I would love to see some of you there on the 7th of October supporting live music. And thank you for listening. And I hope to see you there. And thank you so much, Andy Lewis, for your kind, for your time, because I know you are supposed to be working on my edits.
Yes.
So back to work with you.
To work with me. Yes.
And I'll be seeing you soon. So thank you so much.
Pleasure.
I will leave you with a few words. Please continue to support live music. Everyone who's listening to this, we need an audience. We need you to come out and play and listen to us perform. And thank you for supporting the Southend Jazz Festival. If you want to support me, I have a crowdfunding page. We had a big crowdfund that ended a few weeks ago, but there is still time to donate, and you can pre-order the album, which will be available early next year. And yes, there's lots of ways that you can help. If you want to visit the crowdfunding page, you can check the link below or the QR code that will appear on the screen. So with all that said, thank you so much for listening. And I look forward to seeing some of you in the show. Thank you.